Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. Today's question is coming in from Ronnie from Northern Ireland. So Ronnie, I guess we could say congratulations to Ireland because now the #1 golfer in the world, Rory McIlroy, has achieved the #1 position. So congratulations to Ireland, and y'all have been doing really good, especially in majors. So I guess we could say, do we want to call that the luck of the Irish, or I think more importantly we'd call it the skill of those Irish players. Okay, so Ronnie's question is, Serge, I'm still waiting to see you use a driver. I tend either to hit the ground before the ball if I attempt your vertical swing, or trying to avoid fat shots, flatten my swing, which makes the shots erratic. Can you help? Oh yes, I think I can help, Ronnie. And so let's talk about the driver and the difference between flattening out your swing and what could be causing the issues. Okay, and so the key is this. I think that #1, you want to try to make the same swing with all the clubs. In the catcher's mitt and up the tree, in the catcher's mitt and up the tree, tee finish, recoil, relax, square to the target. You have to be conscious of your alignment and your ball position. When we swing into the catcher's mitt and up the tree, it doesn't matter whether I use a sand wedge or a driver and everything in between. The key is once I go into the catcher's mitt, which is down the aiming line, and when a club gets to the toe line, I'm going straight up the tree. The club's going straight up. Now naturally, a shorter club, which is being shorter and more vertical, is much easier to swing up than the longer clubs, especially the driver. So as the clubs get longer, they are automatically made with a flatter lie angle. That means the angle of the shaft to the ground is at a greater angle. So a wedge might be here and a driver's there, and that would be with the club sitting directly square in the center of the bottom of the sole. So it takes a lot more effort to swing a driver vertical than it does to swing the shorter clubs. I mean, if you took your driver and shortened it there, you're going to see it's easier to lift it up. So, but I try to make the same lift with every club. I just have to put a little bit more energy, a little bit more effort to make it go up. Because why? A shorter club, once this club stays and it's starting on a flatter plane, even though I'm trying to swing on the same vertical inclined plane with my hands, the length of the club and where the ball is relative to the shaft and everything else, the shaft wants to stay on that plane and the head keep going in the direction it's going. So once I'm doing this stuff, I have to make it go up. Now, I'm not doing this in a two-piece swing. I'm going back and up and trying to square it off. From the second I'm lifting this club, it's going up. But I have to make sure that, in my case, I believe the lower hand on the club, my right hand, is the one that really, it stops the rotation, the club from rotating too much, and rotating is going to keep it going flatter. Because if it's flatter, it's pretty hard to come down with a driver if you stay flat coming in. So in many cases, if you stay flat like that, you'll be hitting a lot of probably inside the balls and all kinds of shots to the right. Everything from could be heels to very thin tops and ball starting to the right. And then if you try to get rid of that coming in flat, then you try to flip it a little bit more. Then you could be hitting the top of the club, the top of the face, and possibly even putting sky marks on the club and pulling the balls to the left, and again everything in between. So the key is as I start the club back, as I'm getting here, from the second I'm starting the club back, I'm lifting up, and my right hand is controlling how much the club rotates and the plane it's going back on, and I'm just going to make my hands lift the club up on a vertical inclined plane. I'm not going to let it start rotating too much and get behind my body, because we know that we only swing the club in front of our hands. So it's just like skipping a rock. So if you want to stand here and know where your club's supposed to be, just stand here and skip a rock up here, which is kind of what we call the oath position, or I call it the cactus position if you're going to use both hands on both sides. So you turn over here and you just figure out what it takes to lift the club up there. See? Now people say, well, how can you lift your club without cocking your wrist? Well, right now the club is below my hands, so if I take it and I just lift it up right there, and lifting from my shoulders, both shoulders, I just lift the club straight up, and I make sure, my right hand makes sure that club is going to stay 12 o'clock. All right? I'm not going to let it start going over here to behind me and get laid off, which is a heavy club. It falls back there. Up here, the club falls down, right? I get up here, you can feel club is light. There's no strain in your arm. You start putting that club this way, and what do you feel? All the muscles through your forearm, the back of your arm, up to your shoulders, and even up into your to your forearms, your upper arms, up into your neck and shoulders can start hurting, and because it takes more tightness of your muscles to hold a heavier golf club. And from there, it's too steep coming down. So it's the same swing back and through, all the way up. All right, and if you do that, and give me 1 second, I got to go find my tee, which flew off. I'm going to try to make the same swing, whether I have a driver or a wedge. I'm going to take it back in the mitt, and after, as that club is moving toward my forearm and club are moving to my toe line, my right arm is making sure that the club's going straight up so I can swing it. I can come down with it and swing right up to the tee finish. And so I think it's just a case of you have to decide on and start feeling that everything is vertical. Naturally, there's a little more effort to swing these longer, flatter clubs more vertical, and you might want to check on the length of your club. I mean, today, the average drivers, I was reading one of the magazines today, and they were outlining some of the new drivers coming out, and it's 45.5 inches, 45.75 inches, and there was almost nothing even in the 44s that I read, and there was about 6 of them listed there. So you might want to think about start maybe choking up on your club. My driver is 43. I got a 43 and a 43 and a half. And nothing longer. And I actually have one driver exactly the same length as my 3 with 42 inches. And why don't I need it longer? Because it's too long. I mean, remember, they keep telling you that you can swing a long club faster and hit the ball farther. Well, that's not always the case with everybody. I mean, Iron Byron can swing it faster. All I got to do is keep cranking him up. But everybody, human beings have limits. And as the clubs get longer, they get even more flat. And so consequently, it's more difficult to swing it up. And the only way you can swing a longer club and hit it farther is if you can swing it as fast, hit it as solid, and as straight. And if you can't do those 3 things, it's not going to come. So everybody needs to find your optimum length. And you go see a certified fitter that can help you out, that can teach you to do that. So right now, my clubs are all way shorter than normal standards, right? Like I said, right now, almost any clubs you're going to buy, any drivers anywhere, for a man's going to be about 45 inches. Heck, today's women's clubs are longer than my clubs. I got really long arms. I can't swing long clubs. I can swing them, I can hit them okay, but I got to work a lot harder, and I'm giving up direction and consistency of solid contact, because a longer club is going to mean greater margin of error, and greater error means you reduce success. I'm after solid and straight. The most important thing to me is solid and straight, not long. I want the ball to go where I want it to go, and I'm willing to give up the yardage because it's more important to be in the middle than longer and crooked in the rough and in the woods. Okay, so I'm just going to get the club back and up, and then swing up to the finish. And so I'm going to try to swing vertical with everything and stand that club up the tree, as we call it. Stand that club up the tree and then swing it up into the forward catcher's mitt and up the tree over the shoulder. And if you do that, your swing will look like this, but you got to make it go up. It's only you that's going to lift this club up. Okay, and as you can see, I definitely swing it up because the bottom of the club clips the tee and pops the tee, pulls it right out. Even if I tee the tee's in the ground, 9 out of 10 times, and I hit him clipping that tee on the way up, it pops out of the ground, and you never know where it goes. Sometimes they go forward, a lot of times they go back, but the point is that when the tee's not there, you know you swung up on it to the tee finish. Okay, so hopefully this answers your question, and that's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.